Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, the #1 independent fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the game against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. On the show today we have Severe and Sam. Excited for tomorrow's game, Sam?
Yeah, because I'm going to the stadium, so it'll be fun. So it's nice to go to Old Trafford. Don't have much confidence, but we'll get into that later after the result on Sunday. But we'll get into that.
A slight vibe of pessimistic. Severe, how are you feeling after Sunday's result?
Some of them ones where after you lose, you just want to have another game quickly to sort of get over the bad feeling. And I'm a little bit more confident than Sam, I think. Yeah.
Nothing changed there then. Nothing changed. I like it. Don't forget, guys, if you want to subscribe to our wonderful YouTube channel, just click the shiny red button in the bottom right corner and smash a like on the video as well if you'd like. For anyone currently watching, we are taking part in the Movember challenge this month, raising money for a mental health charity called Mind. If you would like to make a donation, the link is in the Instagram bio or it's in the TikTok, or yeah, just check us out on socials and you should be able to find it there. Thank you to everyone who's already made the donation as well. I think we're around £100 at the minute, so that's amazing. Thank you very much. We're going to start the preview off with a mini game of true or false. I'm going to read out a series of facts or lies, and you guys have to. You know what? Can I just say I love Sam's reaction every time I read out what we're doing at the start. He's always got a little smirk. Gotta get the brain flowing, Sam. Gotta get the brain flowing. Activities, you know what I mean?
My brain's done in, mate. That's the problem.
Fair enough.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you both have very valid points there. We're still going to do it anyway. I'm going to read out a series of facts or lies, and you guys have to tell me if they're true or not. So the first one I've got is Manchester United first won the League Cup in 1992 against Nottingham Forest. True or false?
False.
Yeah, false.
True.
True. Brian McClare with the winning goal in that game.
Fucking hell.
Is that true?
Yeah, true.
I thought it was 90. I thought it was 93. I thought it was 93.
92.
I baited you with that one. I went false first, and then
Yeah.
I genuinely thought it was 93 because I've got it in my head. I had the European one, the Super Cup in 91, and then I had the League Cup 93. Bastard.
92. Year off. Next up, Manchester United lost a League Cup final to Aston Villa in 1998. True or false?
true.
I can't remember.
Was that Liverpool? True. I'm gonna go true.
I'm gonna go false just to disagree.
Wait, hold on. To Aston League Cup final.
League Cup final to Aston Villa in 1998.
I don't think Aston Villa has won a trophy in a while. Gotta go true. Let's go true that one.
False. We did lose to Villa, but we lost it in 1994. So 4 years apart. And that
I don't remember Villa winning anything in the late 90s, early 2000s.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Don't remember winning.
So early 90s then, 94, we lose to Villa. And then the last one, Carlos Tevez is the last man to take the match ball home from a League Cup tie. True or false?
As in a hat trick.
A hat-trick.
Oh shit! No.
Carlos.
That could well be true. Rooney must have had one.
Nah.
In a League Cup.
Nah.
Could be yes, could be no.
We never really had strong Fergie. Remember, Ferguson always tried to play all them Kieran Richardson and all.
Yeah,
them
when it got
young dudes.
but when it got to the semis, the quarters and semis, he started putting strong people in, didn't he?
I'm gonna go true with that one.
Yeah, I'll go true. I'll go true.
You're both absolutely correct on that one. Bagging 4 actually in a 5-3 win over Blackburn Rovers in 2008. That's when the last hat trick scored in the League Cup. Right, let's start off with the press conference. Guys, we're going to dissect tomorrow's fixture shortly, but we have to discuss today's press conference because it wasn't your usual journalist asking snarky questions or little subliminal questions and stuff like that. It was real fans from across the world who had been invited in by the manager to ask questions, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Wait, Eric, where was our invite?
I would have loved that.
Real Reds,
Oh.
Real Reds just get missed off the list. Like, what happened?
Do you know what?
Just
the problem is, I would have had so many questions to pick from. I wouldn't have known which one to ask because I would have wanted to ask him so many things that some journalists don't. I would have struggled to kind of pick the question. But yeah, there was lots of good questions in there. Rob Dawson from ESPN reported Ten Hag is working to rebuild that relationship between United and the club's fans after noticing a disconnect when he took over in the summer.
Shocking.
And when Ten Hag spoke to the MEN, he said, I think it's nice to do it in this way, to make a connection with the fans. You give the opportunity to get close to United. I think that's important for the club. It certainly feels like he's doing a lot of right things, Ten Hag himself at the minute, simultaneously bringing everything together, the fans, the football, results, and setting a culture. In your mind, Sam, has he put a foot wrong at all since he's come in?
No, but like he shouldn't have to do this because the club should be doing it anyway. Like the owners and the people in charge of the club should be doing this shit. Like they should be communicating with the fans, being open with the fans, showing them that. But all the stuff that most owners, I'd say, would want to do, and I think a lot of owners around the Premier League are doing. Glazers are just uninterested. Don't give a toss. As long as the money's still coming in, that's all they care about. So, yeah, it's nice to have a manager who actually gives a shit, understands the culture at Manchester United, understands the fans. I'm sure he understands their frustration with the ownership and the way the club has been ran, etc. Obviously, he's doing his best to change things as much as possible, and he seems to be getting his way most of the time because he's convinced them to spend more in the summer, which they weren't going to do. They were going to, 150 million our budget was, and we ended up spending, 230, 220?
220, I think it was, yeah.
So, got them to spend more, got them to buy way more players than we ever expected to get. He's got them, like you said, reaching out to the fans. He's got stuff going. So, yeah, the only mistake I think he's done is when he named Ronaldo captain at the Villa game at the weekend.
Ooh.
That's the only mistake I think he's made so far. Everything else, I can't.
Seriously, Sam, that was not cool.
I'm just saying.
Well, we're gonna dive into that a little bit later. The Villa game.
Yeah,
I want to keep it surely just the press conference at the minute. Given the difficulty of the job, as we all know, United is a beast for any manager. He's only been in here 5 months of here, but we've seen this club swallow world-class managers and spit them out. He's done incredibly well so far to deal with all the baggage that United brings. But how would you assess his time here so far? Like I said, I know it's only 5 months, but how would you assess it?
Yeah, 9 over 10, 10 over 10. And that's not just me being carried away, but he's literally handled every single situation literally the best way possible. So with the Maguire situation, with the Ronaldo situation, because I remember everyone going, "Oh, you can't drop Maguire. He's your captain." You know, everyone was saying that, and then he says, "Yeah, he's my captain when he plays." Like, you know, and then the way he dealt with the whole Ronaldo situation as well. Like, everyone had this idea that Ronaldo would be bigger than the club, but he's put him in his place, literally. And I think giving him the captaincy for that game was more like, just listen. Now, if he doesn't play Ronaldo, there's nothing anyone can say because he's played you. He's given you the captain's armband. Like, you had every opportunity given to you to take, to stamp your place in. But I like the thing with the fans. Was that his idea, or was that the club's idea?
From what I've read, obviously I don't know it for pure facts, but from what I've seen, he suggested it, and that's why it went down.
If the Glazers would have thought of it, they would have had their fingerprints all over it and spinning and putting press articles out. They would have just absolutely milked that. Yeah,
but it won't be like, I mean, the Glazers won't be thinking about that. It would be like the marketing team. Or the people or the PR team, or it won't be. The Glazers have other things to because it's people from Taiwan came, people from Scandinavia came, people from like all corners of the world. So I'm sure they must have had and they must have had some prior knowledge to this because I don't have a British passport, so I understand when you're coming to England, you have to like make a visa application like 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance. So they must have known this for a while. So that's what I'm saying. Was it his? Anyway, regardless of whether it was his idea or not, you could see that he wanted to be there. And I've noticed that Ten Hag likes questions about football. Like, it's not just, journalists, every single time they ask me this question, like, what are you saying to your players before they go on the pitch? Like, do you know, like, it's the same fucking question every single time. It's like, oh God, like, what do you expect him to say?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to watch. Like, I watched it on, I listened to it whilst I was working. I played it. I had it in my earphones going on. But yeah, to answer your question, Nick, yes, I think he's been fantastic. I think he's shown authority when he needed to show it. I think he's shown his man management skills when he's needed to do it. And on the pitch, we've seen that the players he's bought have made a massive impact. The substitutions he makes usually, I would say 3 times out of 5 have an impact on the game. So yeah, it's good to watch. I'll give him a solid 9.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Yeah. Maybe is that one extra mark off Sam's comment on the Ronaldo captaincy situation?
No, I mean obviously it can't be 10 out of 10, but like
you have to be
realistically.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of lads from Middleton there as well who was asking questions, and they asked him about Manchester, and he was like, "I'll be fine. Like, what do you enjoy in Manchester? Blah blah blah." And he just he made a funny comment. He basically said like, I can't go out in Manchester because media click and blah blah blah, and like so I sleep at Carrington, and that was one of the kind of jokes he's made, very like tongue in cheek from Ten Hag. But I just thought it was a nice setting the way it was all. He was very happy to be there. You could tell it wasn't like forced or anything. Yeah, it seemed nice. But yeah, for once it actually seems United have made a good decision off the pitch for the club. So let's hope that theme continues. Let's turn our attention to the game, fellas. The Champions League, Europa League have now parked until February, I believe. It's time for the kind of in-house cups to begin, the FA Cups, the Carabaos, and we start off tomorrow night. Both Unai, Emery and Ten Hag have a list of trophies in their cabinet, but none of them being the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup in their possession. So you kind of imagine they would want to get their hands on that this season. United coming into this a little bit, I wouldn't say out of sorts. I think that might be a little bit too harsh, but look at the game against Sociedad Thursday night. I know we won, but didn't necessarily get the job done. Then we draw Barcelona in Europa League, and it's kind of like, could have done with that top spot finish. We get beat by Aston Villa 3-1 in the league on Sunday, and it's kind of raising it's raising my eyebrows at least in terms of longevity. If you look at the squad now, the energy output, etc. Reports that Antony will be out until the World Cup starts, but then Ten Hag has said that he's touch and go. He might start, so I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously, if he's out again, it'll be a massive blow, especially to our attacking dynamic, the way we work there. Jadon Sancho is touch and go with illness, and Anthony Martial's only just come back from injury, so there's a few question marks in regards to our attacking talent. I want to discuss the World Cup first and foremost before we kind of get into that, because the amount of players that are dropping like flies at the minute is absolutely ridiculous. We've just seen recently Sadio Mane has dropped out. Son Heung-min was a doubt. I'm not sure if he is going. There's many others, Kante, Chilwell, all these kind of guys. And it begs the question with this Qatar kind of World Cup ongoing, that how has this been allowed? I know they recently dropped. Did you send a link in the chat before with the FIFA corruption thing? They recently dropped a documentary on that, so that's going to be interesting. But I just feel it's having a massive effect on everything in the season at the minute, and especially on our squad when you look at some of the players that are dropping out. But yeah, for Aston Villa, the opposition that we're playing, their defensive signing Diego Carlos is still out. It will be out for a while, while Sam's favourite player, Boubacar Kamara, is back from injury. He's managed to get some minutes against us on Sunday, so we'll be looking to start tomorrow as well. The last meeting in the League Cup between both teams was the final in 2010 when we beat them 2-1. Gabby Abonglahor still licking his wounds since that, and some awful takes on TalkSport. So yeah, so it's set up for an interesting tide tomorrow. Raises a lot of questions, which I'm going to throw to these lads right now. Severe, what can Ten Hag do differently heading into this one?
I watched his press conference after the game we played on Sunday, and he was really pissed off about all the crosses going in. Apparently, that wasn't part of his plan. Like, he was so pissed off about, towards the end of the game, we're just lumping it forward. So I'm quite happy that's because I was screaming at the TV as well. I was like, what do you expect is going to happen? Ronaldo's not getting any of those. they've crowded the box. The defenders have crowded the box. So yeah, I think we'll see the ball more on the ground, trying to walk the ball into spaces. I think it will be more proactive from what we saw. Bruno Fernandes is probably back for this one, so we don't see Donny van de Beek at the 10. It was weird seeing Donny in the 10 because he wasn't playing a 10. Donny kept trying to make runs. The whole time I was watching, I was like, this guy's not playing the 10. Like, he was literally just trying to be
a secondary striker. It felt like
yeah,
at
like
times.
a second striker, yeah. So that was a bit weird seeing that. And it was the same thing when we saw Fred play the 10 as well. I can't remember what game it was. But then they kept trying to make runs instead of like trying to get the ball, and then So I think we'll see. I think it'll be a lot more proactive than it was on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think we might see Ronaldo having a rest. We might see Garnacho playing in, based on the press conference that he had. But yeah, I think those are the changes. We'll definitely see less of that, just League One football, just chucking it in and hoping for the best.
Yeah. Sam, I'd expect Bruno Fernandes to walk straight back into the team. I personally feel like we missed him on Sunday. What do you make of his replacement in Donny van de Beek?
Like Severe already touched on it, it didn't seem like he was playing a 10 when he was in the game, so I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what his instructions were. I don't think Donny's at his best in a 10. I think he's at his best in where Eriksen plays, in the 8. I think I would have switched it round. I would have had Eriksen in the 10 and then Donny in the 8. That's the way I would have done it because I think he's a lot better there. Gets on the ball more. He's able to use his passing ability, which is really, really good. He's very good one touch as well. So I think that would be really good to link up Casemiro, Donny and Eriksen. I think that's a good sort of triangle to sort of feed. So that's the way I would have done it. But yeah, I think Bruno walks back into this team. He's obviously the captain in everything but official status in terms of like what's named on the team registry and stuff. So yeah, I'd expect him to come straight back in, and Donny's probably going to be the one who drops out. So I'd expect it to be Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. Although I'd like to see Eriksen rested because he looks absolutely shattered. Like the dude looks tired, and he's played how many games? He's played every game, hasn't he? Bar one. Is it one game he's missed?
Oh yeah, I think.
So the dude's
he missed the game with injury at some point.
Yeah,
I think.
Was it illness?
And then,
was he ill?
Or illness, yeah, and
Something
then
like
came back and played like half of the next one.
Yeah, so the dude's not missed a game like Byron one, so I think he needs to. If I was Ten Hag, I would be willing to give Donny another chance, but I'd put him in the 8 and like let Bruno play in that 10. Where I think, yeah, like you said, Nick, we missed him quite badly. So yeah, expecting to walk straight back into the team. I expect a fairly strong team because I think Ten Hag wants to bounce back with a win. So obviously one of the last is it's the last game at Old Trafford, isn't it, before the World Cup?
Yeah, Fulham's away, innit?
Fulham's away, yeah. So I think he wants to leave on a win. So I think he'll play a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I'm slightly worried.
Just to add something on Donny, do you remember when Ten Hag, I think it was in pre-season, when he was asked about Donny, and he says one of Donny's best attributes is arriving in the box. So I suppose, I'm just guessing that's why he's played him in that advanced position to sort of pick up the scraps. It was kind of like Pires. I don't know if you guys probably don't remember Arsenal then. But Pires was very much like
I'm the same age as you, I remember.
Yeah, this is boomer talk. I'll let the boomers talk.
I remember that.
But Pires was like that. He was literally, he's one of them ones who was very unassuming, and he was always arriving at the right time to kind of pick up the scraps and then make something of a goal. So he either arrive and then make the assist, or he'll come in and slot the goal in. And this is what Ten Hag said about Donny van de Beek during one of the press conferences. So it wasn't about him kind of dictating the play or controlling the play. I suspect he wanted him in an advanced position to sort of come in and pick up. Now, whether or not Donny kept to the instructions, I don't know. Or he was just a passenger.
So I think the whole of the front four, though, I thought the whole of the front four was ineffective really, and it was telling story that Garnacho looked like the most dangerous player who's going to make something happen, and he's the youngest player in that front line.
And we took him off.
Yeah, and then we take our most informed player, put him on the right-hand side in Marcus Rashford, which that experiment just did not work for me whatsoever. No. I hope if he is going to start tomorrow, he's going to start maybe Elanga on the right-hand side, or maybe Sancho can come back in and play him on the right-hand side, because Rashford needs to be either over on the left, or I would personally start him up top. Looking at the League Cup in general, Sevilla, I know it's not, the kind of sparkly trophy that everyone wants. It is kind of down in the pecking order in comparison to the other ones, but it's still been nice for a team to win a kind of silverware like that, right?
Yeah, silverware, it counts. It doesn't matter. Even the charity shield now is considered silverware.
Jose counted it, didn't he? Jose counted it every time.
In that treble, was it?
Yeah. So I think we're one behind Liverpool at the moment. I think like one trophy behind it. So any trophy now is vital. And regardless of that, if you listen to what Ten Hag says, he says the aim is to win every single game. Right? That's what he wants to do. So he will put out a strong team to win every single game. So it doesn't matter what competition we're playing. It doesn't matter, I'm just happy with the win. And if that takes us to the League Cup trophy, then yeah, why not?
And going into this game, Sam, what worried you the most about Sunday's performance, and what would you change in terms of the team, the way we played?
Forward line was, like you said, terrible. As to Garnacho aside, I thought he was the bright spark, and then we took him off again, which the same thing happened on Real Sociedad. He was the only one who was providing something, and then we took him off, and we just sort of fell apart the second half. Didn't really create much. So yeah, I'd keep Garnacho in. Elanga, I don't want to be harsh on the guy because I don't think it's fair to him, but I just don't think he has it. I don't think he's good enough for Man United. And when you're looking at your options to change the game and you bring it on Anthony Elanga, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, the guy should have been on loan for the last 3 seasons, learning his trade, developing as a player, not having the pressure that's been put on him, because he got forced into the team under Ole because we had nobody else, and he was forced into the team, and he's just stunted his growth completely. So I just don't think the guy needs to just go play football somewhere else, because he's just not. I don't think he offers us anything. But like I said, we haven't got the squad depth to change anything. So this is where we're at. So the forward line, I'd rejig, get Ronaldo out. I don't think Rashford is at his best as a striker, but I think he offers more than Ronaldo does at the minute. I think he offers so much more than Ronaldo does. So I would put Rashford up top, personally. That's what I would do. I'd have Garnacho on the left, Rashford up top, and then depending on if Anthony's well, we don't know. I don't know. Sancho, we don't know. So yeah, you kind of on the right wing, you kind of stuck at the minute because the options are very limited.
You just give me the perfect segue for Sevilla there, because I was going to ask him a question about this. Cristiano Ronaldo, Sevilla, I don't want to keep talking about him. I don't want him to keep being on the show, but he's just putting in underwhelming performances at the minute. Villa's left back, Luca Digne, has matched Ronaldo's tally this season for goals, which is 1. Is it time to bring Rashford back as a 9 against Villa, do you think?
Best performances we've seen from Marcus Rashford this season have come in the 9 position, I think. Well, I can't remember what games we played that he scored. Was Leicester?
Liverpool,
Arsenal, I think. Did he score against Arsenal? Don't remember.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, against Arsenal. Did he score against Tottenham?
Fred and Bruno, was it? I think we scored against Fred.
But yeah, but he's remember, I mean, we've been saying this like since the start of the season. Like, the players get a clean slate, as far as I'm concerned. And if he gets a clean slate in the 9, and I've seen that the way Ten Hag uses him, he doesn't use him as one of them, back to goal sort of 9s to lay off. No, he uses him to exploit the pace behind the back 9, and he does it really well to a T. He could have gotten a goal against Everton, but it was chalked off wrongly. And that was typical Rashford, like running into balls he's been practicing using his header. We've seen that. I think he scored like 2 goals now with his head.
Yeah.
Was had like 2, yeah. And then the miss against Newcastle.
Really good headers as well. Like they weren't.
3 bullet headers.
Really,
yeah.
really.
Oh, Ronaldo missed a header, didn't he, on Sunday?
Yeah.
An easy header. I missed it.
So you can tell that he's been training as a striker, and this is what I love. I think I've mentioned it before as well. That this is what I like about Ten Hag is developing players, and I think this is the first time Rashford has like a proper manager, like a real good technical manager to develop under. So I have no qualms about him playing the 9. I'm more than happy for him to play that position. If Ten Hag has the right way of allowing him to flourish in that position, why not? We can have Garnacho showing us that he can play on the left. Anthony Elanga can play the right. I know Elanga is not like the most popular player. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but he wins fouls. He can be effective. If it wasn't for that, I remember against Liverpool, like he started really well against the game against Liverpool. He played well in the game against Leicester. When we won 2-0, I think, when we played Leicester this season. So he's having good shouts, and I'm willing to give him. We don't have any players right now. Like we don't have any, so I'm willing to allow him. I'm willing to give him time to grow into the game. Yes, Rashford in the 9. To answer your question.
Just another quick question on the 9 as well. I want to ask you this specifically, Severe. Anthony Martial's done an interview with United. He got asked about Erik Ten Hag. He said he's a very good manager, very meticulous person who pays attention to all details. He wants us to produce good football with a desire to press for the loss of the ball. It's perfect for me and my style of play. If we can iron out these injuries somehow, could he be a staple in United's attack for the next couple of years? And the second question is, are the applicants for Martial FC still open?
What's the second question?
Are the applicants for, is it Martial FC or whatever, are they still open?
Applications.
Applications,
yeah.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I think, or I'm sure all of us think the same thing, but why Ronaldo isn't really working is Ten Hag has said it before that he needs agile forwards. He needs forwards that are very mobile. And Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't really worked out how to change his game from just being reliant on his pace to actually positioning and things like that. And I think this kind of plays into the players like Rashford and Anthony Martial. I think there's nobody doubts his ability, Anthony Martial. I think it's just the way he's been used over the years. We've never really used him as a 9, unless apart from his first season. All the other seasons, we had Zlatan to come in and play the 9, and then Martial was shifted out. And then Lukaku came in, and then Martial was shifted out to the left. And then who else? We had
Cavani, Ronaldo.
Yeah. We've never really seen him in the 9, and that's his favorite position. And when we played him in that position, he was brilliant for us. So this is the thing with Anthony Martial that a lot of people tend to forget. And whenever he's been called on to play that position as a 9, he's actually delivered. It's difficult for us to go back and watch every single game, but I remember when we had a lot of injuries and it was him, and then he had like Andreas Pereira and the rest of them, and he delivered. So I think it's perfect for him. I think he can actually flourish in that position. He's never really been this injured in a long time. I just don't understand. I think Pogba's witch doctor probably got his spells wrong and hit Martial instead of Mbappe.
It was Pogba's brother. It was Pogba's brother, wasn't it? He was the one who was messing with the witch doctor.
Pogba's brother said or claimed that Pogba was casting spells on Mbappe.
On Mbappe, yeah. But I think it misfired. He probably poured it in a drink, and then Martial drank it.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that in the Pogumentary? I would have watched it then. I would have watched that shit.
Yeah. that's the only way to explain it.
Yeah. And applications for Martial FC are open, wide open. Like
still open? Are they?
We've got open arms. I mean,
okay.
We're forgiving. Yeah, as long as your apologies are as loud as your contempt.
Do you know where I am at with Martial FC? Like, say the headquarters is like a building, And then the foyer, the lobby is all there. I'm sort of hanging about outside the door at the minute.
Having a sing outside.
I'm just like, do I go in? Do I not? Like, is it going to be worth it? I don't know. I'm just sort of hanging about outside. And then most people are on the bus, like going the other way. And then it's just Severe sat in a big office by himself in the middle of this building.
With a 3-piece on.
Yeah, just waiting. Yeah. Just waiting for people.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming.
I do think the attacking kind of front line in general, we do need reinforcements there. I'm happy with Martial as long as he can stay fit, but he's only started one league game this season so far. Ronaldo's clearly on the decline. We can't rely on Ilangor, Garnacho, these kind of guys due to, you're going to have dips in form. They need developing properly. And if you look at teams, even, despite the current form at the minute, someone like Chelsea, they have Havertz, Pulisic, Sterling, Aubameyang, Ziyech, Broha, like probably more that I'm missing off the top of my head. So they have them guys at their disposal if they have injuries. And with it being one of the busiest seasons ever, I think something like this could genuinely hinder our chances at being successful this season if we was to win a trophy or go for that top 4, because we're very thin in that attacking department. I just think it's a topic that's worth discussing.
Every top team has like forward options, like Liverpool, Neto, Salah, not Neto, Jota. Sorry, mixed up the Wolves players. Salah, Luis Diaz, like they've got options. Nunez. Like they've all got options. The only team who's like very similar to us is Arsenal, because if Jesus goes down, who are they going to rely on? Nketiah?
Back to Lacazette, bruh. That's what it is.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're the only
he's
team.
left, hasn't he?
He's got Leon, hasn't he? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So like they're the only team that are in a similar sort of position to us, where the attacking options are a thing. So I think if Jesus goes down, Arsenal are in trouble.
And
you know what's bad for us as well? It's because a lot of our players are playing for like teams who would likely go far in the World Cup. So we've got a lot of Portuguese players, we've got Brazilian players. Yeah. England.
Good point.
If Marcus Rashford goes, like, so
don't worry. Southgate gets around 16 and fucking goners. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But then Arsenal, like, they've got Saka, Jesus, but Brazil has tons of strikers. So Jesus
Martinelli's not going, is he? So
no, he got picked.
Has he got?
He got picked.
Okay.
Yeah, but then they've got tons of players as well, so he's not going to see every game. I mean, he'll just go for the sights and shit. But...
Yeah, they got Neymar, Vinicius, Rafinha, these kind of guys, like
Rodrigo.
Neymar.
Oh yeah. I wish we had that kind of depth, honestly. Just sticking with the World Cup, Sam, with the potential of players maybe coming back from there with injuries, a jam-packed schedule that we've got every 3-4 days. We're going to have to invest in this January window, aren't we? Surely.
We should, but we're not going to. It's not happening. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, man, but it's not. Like, this club, these owners, man, you know what they're like. Like, they're already sounding the trumpet. Like, I saw a story today saying United want to focus their further rebuild in the summer, and they want to get everything like ready for the next summer. They're already starting it. They're already starting the fucking bullshit like the Glazers. And I'm sure the story's gonna come out. We overspent it last summer. No money available. Blah blah blah.
And whose fault was that? It was fucking their fault. The reason why we over.
So it's all media bollocks. We ain't buying anybody. Like, the only way we buy somebody is if we suddenly get really good at selling players. So say we get rid of Wan-Bissaka for like 20 million.
I don't think we get money.
No.
I think it's a lot.
Say Phil Jones fucks off finally. Say we sell Axel Twanzebe. Say we sell, I don't know, who else can we sell? I don't know.
Twanzebe's got big injury as well, hasn't he?
Again.
Brandon Williams.
You know what I mean? Unless we sell like 4 or 5 players.
£3.
We ain't getting anybody. Like, so we can wish for it all we want, but it's not happening.
I mean, we'll be lucky to get 13 million for all those combined, all those players that we mentioned.
Yeah.
What, 20?
But it's always the wages that we put him on, though. That is the reason why we struggle to sell him. Like, it doesn't matter what we want for him if we're willing to give a discount price. These teams won't pay the wages that these guys are on. So it's.
Do you remember how shocked we were when we sold Andres Pereira? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like the shock on everybody's face. It was, oh my god.
10 million. We was like,
What the fuck?
Yes, please.
Wow, what's
Like,
going
do you know what I
on?
mean? That's the state of us trying to sell players. Like, we're just terrible at it.
Our wages are insane. Like until this season, Martial was earning more than Mohamed Salah. Like, how insane was that? Like, he's earning more than Salah and Mane and
Crazy.
De Gea was earning more than Alisson, Edison. Like, he was out earning all them. Like,
I think about what one of our targets in Cody Gakpo as well. Imagine if he has a great World Cup, like his price and the interest is just going to rocket up again, and it's going to be even more difficult to do that deal. I know his agent's the same agent as Ten Hag, but let's be honest. If you know, I don't know, a City or Madrid or someone like that go win, it, you know, I think it diminishes our chances. Personally.
Yeah, what Romano said about Cody. He said something about a secret meeting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I know Fabrizio's really reliable, but I don't know. I'm very skeptical with a lot of reports at the minute. I don't want to. And that actually, it's because of you, Surveyor, because you made me, you know, come to terms with it a little bit. Like, listen, don't fucking believe everything that you see. I'm kind of just on the fence about a lot of stuff now. I don't want to get too much into it.
When it comes to United, like any report with United, it's like, have you ever seen Training Day?
Yeah.
The film. You know, he's got the newspaper,
90%
and it's like, this is 90% bullshit. But but it entertains me. Like, that's why I read it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why people read this shit. It's entertaining, but 90% of it is absolute bollocks. So that's the way you got to treat it. Like,
but do you think, Surveyor, that with these players that go into the World Cup, and obviously with it being around the corner, do you think this has a psychological effect on them in these next couple of games? Let's say, put yourself in Cristiano's shoes, right? World Cup, massive thing. The one feather in his cap that he hasn't got. Surely that's going to be in the back of your mind in the game. Are you going to be? I know the you know, Cristiano out of most footballers and most professional people, but it's going to be that slight thing in the back of your head, and it's like, oh, if I get injured now, you know what I mean, with it being in winter and stuff. Do you think that has an effect?
Possibly. To be honest with you, I can't tell. But possibly it would. And it would have a different effect. It would have an effect on players differently. Like, so for example, I know Ronaldo, like Portuguese fans already, their patience is wearing thin. So he really needs this World Cup to sort of win them back. Whereas other players are like, people like Anthony, like this is probably like his first major tournament with the Selecao. So he's eager to make an. So yeah, it's different for them, but then they're human. It has to affect them in one way or the other, especially when you see lots of players like just dropping like flies, like almost like every single game, every other couple of days, it's like another player's injured and another player's missing the World Cup. So yeah, it's probably going to play on that. I hope they keep it as professional as possible, and I hope, especially at Manchester United, where it's Ten Hag is cultivating this competitive spirit where you have to fight for your place.
Yeah.
So players would have. So I hope that inspires them to like fight for their place. But yeah, it has to affect them somehow.
As a side question to yourself, Sam, let me throw you a hypothetical, right? Cristiano Ronaldo goes to the World Cup. He wins it. He has a good World Cup. What happens then?
No change. Doesn't. Like, yeah.
That's a mere spawn right there. Money.
Oh, in terms of how much we sell him for. Is that the
Mayweather?
Is that the question in terms of how much we could sell him for?
No. I'm saying, like,
no.
do you reconsider it? Like,
no.
The option with Ronaldo? No, you're still firm on that stance.
He's done. He's finished.
Yeah. Gone. Yeah.
He needs to go. If he can go in January and we can get a replacement, awesome. Sayonara, Cristiano. The problem is, like, I think if he's got any chance of like moving in January to a club in the Champions League, he probably has to do really well at the World Cup. Because if he has a shit World Cup, who's going to come in for him?
Then the question marks really get thrown at it. If he has a dire World Cup and he's ineffective.
Because nobody's coming in for him then. Like, it's not happening. And then we're stuck with our extremely unhappy Cristiano Ronaldo, who hasn't done well at the World Cup, hasn't got the move to the Champions League, and he's in a team that doesn't fancy him. Shit is going to hit the fan.
Can I just say as well, Andreas Pereira has more goals this season than Ronaldo. I think that tells you everything that you need to know.
Edison and Alisson have the same number of goal contribution as Ronaldo.
Or in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Mate, well, he's only had one goal as well in Europe against Sheriff, hasn't he? I think he scored a penalty.
Penalty, yeah.
Against Sheriff. So open play, it's been one goal since like the 5th of June for Portugal, I think, or something like that.
If he wins the World Cup or goes to the final, I'll personally write the advertising copy to sell him. Like, I would big him up. Like,
I'll do the assets and the stuff. I'll do all that.
Please.
I think it'd be the easiest sale ever if he wins the World Cup, to be honest with you. I don't think he'd need any marketing. I think it'd just be like, he's won everything. He's the GOAT. Like, well, maybe not in Severe's thoughts, but yeah.
That's a discussion.
Can worms everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Just the last question on the striker situation. Any of you guys can take this one. Are there any astute signings we could make in January, or maybe a seasoned attacker who will be available for a good price, do you think? Anyone in your mind at all?
The problem is the World Cup. Because if
again,
like who's is Patrick Schick going to the World Cup?
Checks, I think so, yeah.
So he's probably available for a decent price right now, and he's not going to cost like a fucking fortune at this point. But if he goes to the World Cup and has a good thing, scores quite a few goals, his price, you add on 20, 30 million on top of that, plus 10 million for United tax, like that's the issue. If you go for a striker and he has a good World Cup, you're just going to pay an absolute fuck ton. So that's the problem right there. So there is no astute signing, really, in my eyes.
That 19-year-old kid from Cesco, whatever his name is.
Is he going to Leipzig, though?
He is, but
it's
one of them. Because it's the Red Bull group. It's not much of like I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but he's still open to big clubs in Europe to move.
Who's he play for? What's his nationality?
Cesco is Slovenian, I think.
So he's not going.
Or Slovakia.
Yeah. He's not going.
One of them. I have no idea. I don't think so. From the teams
no
that
idea either. Yeah.
Okay, so.
But then that'll be a brilliant investment in my opinion.
100%.
As for a number 9. But I still think we're gonna get Cody. I just have that feeling. Like,
as a striker though.
Anywhere, like Martial can be striker or Rashford can play striker.
So you're happy with that fluidity?
I love that fluidity. I'll be more than happy with it. Because Cody, once he gets in those positions, because I've seen him go from play on the left and I've seen him play on the right as well. So I think once we have that sort of fluid trio, or whatever, with Anthony or Jaden, or and I think the interest from the manager is genuine. So whatever position he wants to play him in, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that.
He knows him well. Like he played him like how many times against him in the Eredivisie, so he definitely knows his game. Yeah. He's watched him up close several times. So I imagine he knows.
He plays.
Yeah, he took it. Cody actually was instrumental in getting Ajax out of the version of their FA Cup sort of version. So he scored the first goal, and I think he assisted in the final. He scored the first one, and I think he assisted the second for the 2-1 win that PSV had over. So right in front of Ten.
He can literally play across the whole attacking line as well, because he plays as a 10 for Netherlands. I'm not sure if any of you guys knew that, but he plays as a 10 behind Memphis Depay and Steven Bergwijn.
Bergwijn.
Berghaus,
yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but he plays as a 10 in that system behind them. So fluidity is absolutely his middle name. And I think he's got all the qualities you need as well to succeed in the Premier League. I really, really like him as a player. In the game the other day against Ajax, he had 3 assists and 1 goal in that game as well, and he should have had another assist. Like he's really good all around.
He's all but said he wants to come to United as well, without actually going, I want to come to Man United. He said everything but that. So
them quotes that came out were quite like, he wants that move definitely. I hope we go get Gakpo, but if he has a fucking phenomenal tournament, then I think it's just going to be a lot more of that, definitely. Let's let's do some quick fire questions, fellas. Start the clock. Who will start as our striker tomorrow?
Rashford.
How many changes will Ten Hag make?
2, maybe 3.
Bruno will come back in for Donny. Fred or McTominay might start. I don't know. And we're just going to go 2.
Okay. How far will we go in this tournament if you was to make a prediction now? I know it's early doors.
What round's this?
It's always the semi-finals, isn't it? I don't know. It's just our first game in the Carabao, isn't it? So 32, is it? Something like that.
Quarters, I'll say.
Will Marcus Rashford get a goal or an assist tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for
If he starts. Yeah, I'm going to go yes.
Yeah, if he starts.
Here's one for Sam. Will we keep a clean sheet?
No. No. I predict. You know what? The first time ever, against Villa, I predicted a clean sheet and we got fucked. So every other time I've gone no. We've kept one, so I'll go no, and hopefully we keep a clean sheet this time.
Yeah. Where
are we playing? Old Trafford?
Yeah.
I think it might be like 1-0 or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to go yes.
I think me and Sam are at the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're at the game, aren't you, Sam? Yeah. Last quick fire. Will Anthony Martial start or come off from the bench?
He'll come off the bench. Yeah.
Off the bench. Okay, with that being said, let's do predicted 11s. As always, I will do mine first, lads, and then I'll ask you for yours. I'm going to go with David De Gea in net, Diego Dallo. Let's toss up between Lindelof and Maguire because you don't know in a minute. I'm going to go with Lindelof because he seems to prefer Lindelof, I believe. Lissandro and then Malacia. I think the midfield will be Bruno, Casemiro and Fred. And then I think he'll go with Sancho if he's recovered back from his illness. Sancho, Rashford and Elanga. That's how I think he'll go. What's yours, Sam?
You're back 5, but I think... Is Shaw injured?
No, I went with Malacia because he hasn't played a couple of games.
I think
I feel like energy, intensity.
I think Shaw plays instead of Malacia. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. He should change Eriksen, but I don't think he will. Elanga, Rashford, and Garnacho.
Okay. So there.
I think it's going to go Dallo, Lindelof, Martinez, Malacia over Shaw because I think now it's that whole merry-go-round thing where Shaw's not having bad performances. And like Malacia came on and looked well when he came on against Villa, yeah. So I think he would earn back his spot. It would be Fred and Bruno. And I think we're still going to go Garnacho, Rashford. And if Sancho is fit, he might play him on the right, I think.
I don't mind that attack either. No, it's all right. What about score predictions? I'll let you two go first on this, and then I'll go with mine. Interested to see what you think.
I think we get beat 2-1.
Score predictions.
2-1.
To us or to them?
No, to them. I think we get beat 2-1.
There.
2-0.
United? That's Villa.
We win, yeah.
We win.
No, we win because, like, yeah, I mean, they had a free kick. They had the Leon Bailey goal, and what was the last one? Jacob Ramsey arriving in the back. And I think Ten Hag would learn from certain mistakes. I don't think it's going to be that easy. They're not just going to walk over us again. Especially not Old Trafford. Nah.
I agree, but I think it's 1-0 we scrape through. I think Ten Hag will learn his lessons, like he did with Potter when we played Brighton at the start of the season. We played Chelsea. Yeah. He learned his lessons. That first 35, 40 minutes, he was just absolutely dominated him. So I think he will learn his lessons. He's very tactically astute manager, and I think it'll be much even, especially at Old Trafford, like you just said there. So I'll go with a 1-0 win. Any final thoughts you guys want to add on before we conclude?
Can we just talk about the shit show that was the Barcelona ticket thing? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
They allocated, was it 6,000
6,000 tickets, and I went on, and I'd been on there since like 11 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
I'm waiting, and then as it got on, there was 120,000 people in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, what? How the? Why is it? Why is there not a balloting system for this thing? Like how? Like I don't understand. Like there must be a balloting system you should be able to do for this, where it's random selection. You all apply, and then it just gets randomly selected. 6,000.
Just randomly given, and then just don't waste everybody's time.
Why? It was so fucking ridiculous. Like it was such the stupidest way to do tickets. Like honest to God, it was so stupid. So
have you seen how much the touts are selling the tickets for now?
I can only imagine.
400 quid. 400 quid.
What, the home tickets?
Yeah.
The touts are selling, not United.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Like on the tout website and that.
Yeah.
Home tickets.
Yeah, it's bollocks, mate. Honest to God, like it was such a shit show, and United needs to sort out their ticketing system because it's getting beyond the joke at this point. Like, just to buy, like I think the only tickets left for the Barca games are the hospitality ones, so you pay like 400 quid. Like it's just insane. Like just to go to
those
a game.
Those seats are horrible. I hate it when I'm kind of like level.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because they're like the hospital. They're kind of like level, so you don't really get like the full view of the pitch.
The way they sell it as well, like 400 quid. Oh, you get 2 meals and you get a padded seat, and it's like, what is that really worth? The extra 300 fucking quid that I'm paying for the thing? It's bullshit. Just because they know people will fucking pay it, man. It's a joke, absolute joke. And Barca needs to do the same thing as well, because when we last played Barcelona, they was charging about 130 quid for tickets for the away fans, for the United fans that were going. So yeah, I don't know if it's UEFA.
I mean, what do you expect? It's two European giants. There's the likelihood that it would be Messi and Ronaldo one last time. Do you understand? So this is why. Oh no, Messi's left.
I was about to say
he doesn't play for Barca anymore, mate.
What's the fucking pool? What's the pool?
Well, maybe they've sold it as that. There's Messi's like sent direct emails like Messi versus Ronaldo, and they're like,
man, exactly. So
like
what the hell?
They fucked it up as well because they sent an email saying tickets go on sale at October 6th. So they fucked the email already, and then they sent another email saying, we got the date wrong, sorry. So they already fucked it from the start of it. They couldn't even get that right. So it's just like, and then also there was something really dodgy about that draw. The way that guy
100%.
was saying he had hold the United ball and he was just stirring with the United ball.
Stole Gira like that.
And then just put the United. I'm like, oh yeah. As soon as Barcelona came out of that pot, I texted my mate and went, United, this will be United.
Everyone knew it.
Everybody knew it. Everyone. Did you guys watch the draw last season? The Champions League draw when they did it? Yeah.
When they cocked it up. Yeah.
They literally had PSG as the last team, right? And they drew everything, and then PSG was the last, and then it was Manchester United against PSG. And then they found out what the problem. They were like, oh no, they found out the fault, and they did it again, and PSG was still the last team.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it was clear.
That actually would have been Cristiano versus Messi, so you can see what
that was what it was going to be.
Yeah,
that was definitely what it was going to be.
Like this documentary on FIFA corruption needs to do on UEFA as well, because every sort of single body in football just seems beyond corruption at this point. Like it's just.
And for Sepp Blatter to come out and say himself, like.
Yeah, we shouldn't have done it.
That he was the wrong decision.
We shouldn't have done it, but I've got the money in my bank account now, so you know what I mean.
I mean, just watching players now like Sadio Mane, who's injured for the World Cup, who's out. All these big players that you're not going to witness at the World Cup. These are the kind of guys you want. Someone like a Mane carrying Senegal, like you know what I mean. These big successful stories.
You saw what it means.
It's just a shame, man.
You saw what it means to players. Like you saw Varane, he was in fucking tears. Thinking
he only come out every 4 years, isn't it?
And he's just like we could do another show on the World Cup and corruption and what have you. And I'm sure we'll get into it because when we do the World Cup coverage, I'm sure we'll get into that side of it.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested.
I couldn't give a shit.
The World Cup.
I couldn't give a toss.
The World Cup now. I really can't. If I catch a game, I support Man United and Nigeria, and none of them are playing in the World Cup. So
I'm following Denmark because I think the thing they did with their kits and stuff like that, I think
With the
that's
kits,
a nice message.
yeah.
So I'm gonna follow Denmark.
Yeah, I do get it from kind of like a moral standpoint and stuff. I'm kind of torn because I'd lie if I'm not saying I'm excited about seeing certain players in the World Cup and certain teams and
some
how
of
they
them not,
perform.
Some of them not gonna make it, mate. Like they're all getting injured.
Yeah, I mean, like players like we discussed then, like Gakpo, some of the Brazilian players that are going for us. Like I want to see how Anthony gets on and stuff in the World Cup. Like from that perspective, I think it's interesting. But I do think there's a lot of kind of negative connotations surrounding it, obviously.
Plus our manager is Gareth Southgate, which doesn't help.
Yeah, which is fucking depressing. Anyway.
Ole Gunnar Southgate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, man.
Gareth Dyche. Gareth, aka Sean Dyche, is managing England.
I think Sean Dyche should probably do a better job, to be honest. Yeah, round of 16 is the best we can hope for. I think Brazil absolutely smashes it. But we will have World Cup content surrounding that. We'll have a couple of the lads on who's been on, previous fans from Everton.
And we will not go with the colour scheme that Nick suggested in the chat the other week.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, no, you can't say that on the show out of context. Because people watching this will be like, oh, what? Nick suggested that? What? No. I didn't. Just for clarity, I suggested it in. I thought I would just dig myself an hole, man.
Right, to clear up, Nick wanted to have the England colours, so red, white, and stuff like that. And in theory, in your head, that is a good idea. But then when you look at it from like a design point of view, it just comes across as a political party who's all about Brexit and immigrants go bye-bye. That's the kind of optics you have around that kind of idea.
Just the start of the show, Sam, with Nigel Farage saying, you all laughed at me.
You're not
laughing now.
Start every show with the national anthem. We all stand up like that.
Oh, God. No.
God save the king.
Some idiots out there ideas. You're going to give idiots out there ideas. Anyway, that concludes the show today, guys. Thank you to everyone watching. Please subscribe to our wonderful YouTube channel. Like the video if you're excited for the game tomorrow. Me and Sam are at the game, so there won't be a watch along, but we'll have plenty of content on Reels and things like that. So make sure you check out our socials. All the handles are at the bottom of the graphic or just enter the description in the video link. Sam, good to have you back on. Thank you for coming on.
Speaking of handles, handlebar mustache Nick has got. We are raising money for raising money for November. You can tell I work in marketing, can't you? Raising money for November. The link is in the description. There's also a link in our Instagram and all our other social handles in the link tree. If you want to donate, raise money for a good cause for Mind, which is a mental health charity based in the UK. Men's mental health is a massive issue. It's the biggest killer. Like suicide is the biggest killer of men in guys of our age group and most of the people who watch this channel. So yeah, raise some money for a good cause, and me and Nick will continue to look like we belong on some sort of register for the rest of the
serial killers.
Jeffrey Dahmer in my case.
So, now you've got me as a bloody BNP leader and a serial killer in the same fucking thing, man. Honestly. Oh god. I'm not looking forward to the comments after this fucking.
I'll turn the comments off.
Yeah, turn them off. Thank you for coming on as well, Surveyor. As always, I really appreciate your thoughts and analysis. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Hold on. Wasn't the leader of the BNP called Nick? Is that Nick Griffin?
Oh, steak, man.
Oh no!
End this stream now. End it now.
We'd be the worst racist ever because we've got a channel full of like we've got white, we've got a guy from Nigeria, we've got people from India. We're the worst racist ever.
Yeah.
Like we're the worst racist.
It's not a conversation I expected to happen in this stream, but here we are. Thank you everyone for coming on.
End the stream.
End the stream.
I'm just gonna let it keep going. I'm just gonna let it keep going.
I'll walk out. I don't give a fuck. I will watch. The only scarf I represent, right, and the only colours I represent are these colours. That's all.
Green and gold until.
As you see, all our colours, green and gold, till the glazes die or fold.
Yeah, and we can end it on that. That's a better note to end it on.
That's a good one.
See you later, guys. Take care. We'll see you for the game tomorrow. Peace.